What's going on, everybody? Welcome to On3 Sports. I'm Nick Kosko, and with me today is Indiana Fever star Sophie Cunningham, kindly enough to join us with or ahead of the WNBA season this spring. Sophie, first of all, great to talk to you again. I know you're here with us today with Quest Nutrition, great brand. Just to tell us a little bit about them, gearing you up for this new 2025 season.
Yeah, they are one of my favorite brands to work with, not only because their stuff is amazing and it's good for you. It's kind of like a little tasty treat. You're cheating a little bit, but they're just really good people and they do things the right way. And so just to kind of be associated with the brand that loves to see me succeed, not only on the court, but off the court and wants to see me healthy all year round, I can't be mad at that, can I?
No, not at all. So, last time I talked to you, of course, you were playing with Phoenix. Now you are with Indiana. You spent a good amount of time out with the Mercury. But I got to go back. What was your first reaction to getting traded to Indiana and now playing with a whole new group of women here this season?
Yeah, it's exciting. I was drafted out here 6 years ago, and I've learned a lot. I've had a lot of great teammates, a lot of great experiences, a lot of playoff experience. And then, I was kind of actually just sitting out here by the pool and got a phone call that I got traded to Indy. And I'm not going to lie, I was stoked. I was super, super excited. I think that's one of the hottest teams in the whole world right now. And so just to kind of have all those eyes on you, not only, to elevate your game, but also off court opportunity. And so, right when I got traded, I actually texted Alyssa, who is one of the boss ladies up at Quest. I'm like, hey, it's going to be a big year for the both of us. And I was just really excited to, bring not only myself, but everyone I worked with kind of elevated up to a new platform.
Without a doubt. Speaking of those platforms, you've previously raved about Caitlin Clark. Everyone knows the big superstar she is, Rookie of the Year, and now Indiana, a perennial playoff team and maybe even a contender this year. So we'll get into some of your new teammates in a second. But when you raved about Caitlin Clark last year, I can only imagine it seems like you actually just spoke this into existence. Now you actually get to play with her this season. Tell me a little bit about that.
I just think she's a phenomenal player. I think that not only Caitlin, but I think Stephanie White and her coaching staff is one of the most elite level coaching staffs in our league. You have Kelsey Mitchell, you have Natasha Howard, you have Dewana Bonner, and so our team is looking really, really good right now. And we're all just kind of excited to actually get together and get working out. But when you have someone like Caitlin, she's a generational, maybe a one-time player to kind of graze our sport. I think that we've had a lot of great players, but with all the new eyes and the social media presence and our games being aired on TV, I just think she, and some of the other rookie class members too, they just carried our game to a whole new level. And this is something that we've always wanted. And so just to play alongside someone who has, elite level thinking, passing, shooting. I think it's going to be pretty fun for a shooter like me to let her go do her thing and I'll just be spotting up.
I was going to say, since you are a shooter, you're pretty deadly from the three-point arc. When you talk about being surrounded by her, she can do it all. You mentioned some of the other veterans already, Dewana Bonner, Natasha Howard, Sydney Colson, just among the other players that were added to the roster this year. Do you find this mix to be even more advantageous with someone like Caitlin Clark? And of course, you have Aaliyah Boston as well. So when you go from the young guns that are really, really good, but then surrounding veterans like yourself who have seen a lot of game experience and some playoff experience, what is that mix like?
You know what? I think our league is all about experience, especially when you get into the playoff runs. You can be the hottest team, but if you don't have that experience in the playoffs, you normally don't make it very far. And so I think that our management, our front office, they did a wonderful job of, having all these young bucks who are hungry for wins, who are willing to do whatever it takes to get those wins. And then you bring in, I totally forgot Sydney Colson, she has championships under her belt. You have Dewana Bonner, who has championships under her belt. Aaliyah Boston, who had championships in the college, which still matters, right? So you kind of know what that feels like. But I do think when you have that experience and that leadership with kind of the young bucks, I think it's just a great combination for success.
I wanted to circle it back to your partnership with Quest right now, which is why you're here with us here on On3. When you work with a brand like that, particularly over the past couple of years, how do you carry that over now with a new market, as you alluded to before? Now with Indiana, you have a superstar like Caitlin next to you as well. What does that do for the brand, for you personally, and how do you bring, I guess, more women on board with maybe a brand like that, or give them similar opportunities?
Yeah, you know what? I just think that this year is a lot of firsts for me, right? And same with Quest. This is the first time they're ever going to be hosting something at a bar, Upper East Side, during the tournament. And so for me to kind of be a part of that, I'm super excited. I think I'm a kind of like fun, spunky, go with the flow type girl. And so for them to kind of let me be behind the bar doing the Sophie Teeny, which is, definitely high protein. So I'm still having fun, but I'm also kind of getting in my nutrition. I'm just excited for all that. And so not only am I elevated, I've been blessed with a great platform, but like I said, I'm super proud to represent Quest. I'm a Quest lead, and I don't know, I just think they're doing really good things, and hopefully I can do really good things on the court.
I'm glad you alluded to the college game as well, because it seems like more athletes, such as yourself, and again, you have a generational superstar like Caitlin, but others that are now taking advantage of these brand deals and, of course, elevating their own brands coming into the professional part of the game. When you look at the NCAA tournament, I don't know how much you followed it up to the point now with the
Yeah.
Sweet 16, but with the teams remaining, is there someone you have your eye on in terms of an individual or a team that you really like to make a bigger run later in this tournament? I know, I guess the sad news is Juju Watkins, was injured the other night, and now that really does hamper USC. But what are you looking at for the remainder of the NCAA tournament?
It was good. I think Alabama had a heck of a game against Maryland last night. But I think, Juju kind of getting injured, that's where everyone's mind is at. But I just think women's basketball is hot right now. We're at an elite level. Again, I think we've always been there, but just the viewership and the accessibility to actually watch games is at an all-time high since last year. And it's carried over this year. And so I just think these games are competitive. We love the men. We're different from the men, though. I think we're more high IQ, fundamental, still athletic, but it's just a different game. And so just to kind of be someone who's been at the NCAA tournament, now I'm on the other side as a pro, still looking and, kind of watching these people. Some of them are going to be in the W with us. And so it's fun to see them enjoying where they're at right now. And I'll be looking forward to, kind of playing against them or with them in the next couple years.
I like that you mentioned the high IQ type of basketball. Now you're more known as a shooter, but have you developed? Is there a certain part of your game that you've really honed in on and really tried to develop, maybe in terms of the basketball IQ, or maybe something off the court that's led to more on the court success?
Yeah, I think in my college careers, I only had one. In my college career, I was a high IQ player. I had the ball in my hands a lot. I was coming off pick and rolls. I was doing the motion offense. And I think when you get drafted out here to Phoenix, is a little bit more one-on-one ball. And that's no one's fault. When you have Diana Taurasi and you have Brittany Griner, that's the way they play. And so I think that I kind of got used to just being a shooter. Where, in Indiana, it's more my style play. It's back to motion offense. It's back to run and gun. It's getting to the paint, kick and shoot. And so I still feel like I have that in my bag, and I'm excited to kind of showcase that this year.
When you showcase that this year, just going back to Caitlin Clark, I'm sure it's maybe a little bit easier. You played with legends in Phoenix, but you're playing with maybe a growing legend in Indiana. How are you going to share the ball with Caitlin? Are you going to say like, "Hey, look, I'm open. I know you can score 1,000 points, but hey, I'm open here in the corner too."
Yeah, you know what I think when you're all on the same page just to go win a ball game, I think that the egos and the unselfishness goes away. She's definitely going to have to get hers in order for us to win, but I don't think she's a selfish player whatsoever. I think if you're open, she's going to get you the ball, and I think that's something that more people are starting to understand that she's one of the best passers in the league. As good as her shots are and as deep as they are, I think her passing ability is even better.
When you talk about that unselfish part of the game, is that maybe your biggest advantage as a team this year for India? I know you guys are still gearing up for the season, and there are going to be more expectations here in 2025. But is that unselfishness maybe one of your biggest attributes as a team this year?
Absolutely. I think anyone who gets the ball, they can go. It's going to be a run and gun. We're going to be fast. We're also going to be able to all shoot the ball. And so there's not a lot of times that all five players on the court can handle the ball or shoot the ball. And so I just feel like the team that they've put together on paper so far, it looks really, really good. We're all going to be very new to each other. So you're still going to have to build that chemistry, gain that rhythm. But I do feel like we have all the pieces that we need. And now it's just making it all fit.
I love hearing that. Sophie Cunningham with me here on On3 Sports, part of Quest Nutrition. Sophie, I'll leave you here with this one. There's a lot of combinations that you can use in terms of player combinations, pick and roll sets, whatever the case may be. I'm not big on basketball IQ like you are, but taking away from the basketball now back to the Quest stuff. Are there products you're combining at this point? You have deadly combos on the team, but what about those Quest products that you're going to be combining this year? Quest bars and shake. I mean, you're making a shake here, Sophie Tina. I might have to try that now.
Yeah, so it's kind of a more fun, I think, more healthier version of an espresso martini. And so we do use the vanilla iced latte coffee, that you can drink by itself. You can put it in your coffee. For me, I'm going to put it into an alcoholic beverage, and that's why I'm going to be working behind the bar. So come hang out with me. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I've kind of perfected it. I've had a lot of people try, and they really like it. And so for me, what I like about Quest is it really is high protein. It's low sugar, not a lot of net carbs. And so for me, that's what I'm trying to put in my body, especially before season, during season. We work out a lot and you need a lot of high protein. And so something I love about Quest, it doesn't taste like that you're eating healthy. It really does taste like a little indulgent treat. It's tasty. And it tastes like, you're drinking in a real espresso martini, but it really is just healthier for you. So I've had it many times. I'm excited for everyone else to try it. And so that's why I'm like, hey, come hang out with me. Again, it's the first time that Quest has been doing this ever. And so hopefully we nail it behind the bar.
I'm sure you will, and you'll nail it on the court this season as well with Indiana. Sophie, really appreciate your time. Good luck this season. Looking forward to talking to you again in the future.
Awesome. Thank you. Good talking to you.